Good morning, our people. We are here once again to converse with you, discuss, talk about things that will, at the end of the day, make our lives better. That's all this is all about. We are not here for to be the face of your pain or whatever. We are here to be the face of your solutions,
Mm-hmm.
solutions to issues. We are ready to go home. We want more for our people. We cannot continue to sit in a place that is already built for us when our land still needs building. So our goal is for everyone to be on board, for everyone to understand what we're doing, where we're going, so that we can get home and get home soon and start doing the work. Getting the self-determination is one thing, but we haven't even talked about building the nation. So you can see that we are running out of time. We are desperate. We're not getting any younger. Don't let this picture that you're seeing online deceive you. And when you get up in the morning, your bone lets you know that you're not young. You can't
Mm-hmm.
spring out of the bed anymore.
Yeah.
So time is of essence. And we are hoping that today the show will be impactful. It will be life changing. Oh, and again, once again, we are looking for change agents or ambassadors of change. We need people to come on board and want more. And that's what this entails. Do that spirit of wanting more, wanting a change, hunger for change. If you are one of those things, then you're a change agent. Come on board so we can get this work done and get to our destination. My name is Monachim Saga, and today is January 22nd of 2022. And I will allow my sister to introduce herself.
Thank you very much, Miss Mona. Thank you, our viewers. Once again, we say please help us to share, subscribe, like. Those on YouTube, there's a bell there, and hit it so that when a new video is uploaded, you will be the first to be notified. We're a team in this work. Like my sister said, we're ambassadors of change. We're here to change things. We are not ready to accept the status quo.
Mm-mm.
We want things to be done differently, and we believe that we can do it. So please be part of us. Encourage others to join so that we can move forward. My name once again is Dr. A.P. Simon Okube. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Food for thought as we proceed. The consequences of lies and dishonesty are not only that they break down and create new social networks, they also produce fraudsters.
Hmm.
They ruin workplace and business relationships. They make other people to be more creative and influence them on how to tell lie more often. They cause anxiety because truth is easier to remember. You see, with time, everyone becomes dishonest, including elders that should know better. At the end of the day, the entire society is ruined to the extent that people are unable to differentiate truth from lies. According to recent literature reviews, dishonesty and constant lying increase stress hormones
Hmm.
and can lead to a lot of negative health outcomes, including high blood pressure and other heart and vascular complications. Please, my people, welcome to this platform that teaches you and upholds truth and encourages honesty in every human endeavor. Because you know what? Anything built on lies will collapse like pack of cards. Thank you very much.
My dear, you can say that again. Anything built on lies will collapse like pack of cards, and it's not doing you any favor. How can group of people that want to get to a destination fast be playing with lies? Does that even make sense? No, it does not. So come on board, be a change agent. Let's start all over. Let's do this thing the right way. We have wasted enormous time doing the wrong thing, lying to ourselves, photoshopping, pretending, shouting, crying, even praying 7 times a day and and fasting during the week and all kinds of stuff, and nothing works. So time has come for us to do the right thing, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard. So all you have to do is to come up and be part of us, and we're going faster. So help us to share. As you can see, so it looks like something is blocking something. Like I keep saying, between my husband and children, at least 6 people should be on here, but he's saying four. So I don't know who is blocking, if it's Facebook or if it's what is it called? If it's Facebook or it's YouTube. I don't know who is blocking or what. But anyway, help us to share today's show. Okay. Okay, give me 1 minute just to share real quick and then we'll come back in. I'm almost done, a few more minutes. All right, so I will go ahead and start and then we'll see how that goes. As you all know, today our brother Tony is with the Yoruba Nation, having similar talk on NINAS, because all we want to do is for people to understand the process. If you understand the process, then it's a game changer. We are done. We are done with dead people coming from their graveside to be our president. We are done with the same group of cabals waking up and deciding that they will rule us from the time they are 29 years of age to the time they are 100 years of age. It will be over. And it's also even heartbreaking to watch our young ones continue to be part of the campaign group for these people that we know uh, evidence is there that they have held us hostage. And our people are so confused about what is doing them, like my sister is will always say, that they are there actually campaigning, sharing cards, charge cards, and what's not for these politicians. And I think it's only stemming from the fact that we don't know what we need. We don't know what it takes. And that's where the education comes in. So we're here every Saturday to educate our people on what is needed to stop this recklessness, to stop this political recklessness that we know will never take us anywhere, but instead it will renew our enslavement with the failed defunct federation called Nigeria. So that goes well with our topic today that says stop this political recklessness and embrace the NINA's proposition for good governance. Does this it's a no-brainer. If this thing is done, what it will do is to take power away from the criminals in charge right now and put it in the hands of people that we will elect to lead us, because we do need leaders. Somebody will have to lead. But it's not this group of wolves that we know for sure don't care about us. So, what is governance? Governance is the existence of economic, political, and administrative authority to manage a country's affairs at all levels. It comprises the mechanism or mechanisms, processes, and institutions through which citizens and groups articulate their interests, exercise their legal rights, meet their obligation, and mediate their differences. And then on the other hand, when you look at good governance, it's an approach to government that is committed to creating a system founded in justice and peace that protects individual human rights and civil liberties. The United Nations even understood the importance of this good governance, and they identified 8 factors that can be used as a measure. The first one is participation, right? So there are 8 of them. So the first one is participation, which requires that all groups, particularly those that are most vulnerable, have direct representative access to the system of government. We know in the defunct federation that we do not have that. The second one is the rule of law, which is exemplified by impartial legal systems that protect human rights and civil liberties of all citizens, particularly minorities. This is indicated by the independent judicial branch and a police force free from corruption. Mhm. We know we don't have that in the defunct federation. And then the third one is transparency, meaning that the citizens understand and have access to the means and manner in which decisions are made. Ooh, we have never experienced that, especially if they are directly affected by such decisions. That's why you have the likes of Tinubu, the criminal in charge, coming out to be our president. This information must be provided in an understandable and accessible format, typically translated through the media. We know what our media house is doing. They are busy serving our slave masters. The fourth one is responsiveness, which means simply involves the institution response to their stakeholders within a reasonable time or frame. Nobody listens to us, even when our children came out to demonstrate for things that are not going well in our land, they were killed. And then we are looking at the fifth one, which says consensus oriented. That one is demonstrated by an agenda that seeks to mediate between many different needs, perspective, and expectation of a diverse citizenry. Decisions needs to be made in a manner that reflects a deep understanding of the historical, cultural, and social context of the community. We have never experienced any of this. So you can see we don't even have a nation. The sixth one is equity and inclusiveness, which again depends on ensuring that all members of the community feel included and empowered to improve or maintain their well-being, especially those individuals and groups that are most vulnerable. That's not for us. And the seventh one is effectiveness and efficiency, developed through the sustainable use of resources to meet the needs of the society. Sustainability in this case refers to both ensuring social investment carried through and natural resources which they will maintain for future generations, not in our lifetime. Last but not least is the accountability, which refers to institutions being ultimately accountable to the people, yeah, right, and one another. This includes government agencies, civil society, and the private sector, all being accountable to one another as well. None of this have ever happened in our nation or the country called Nigeria. So, as we can see, none of this ever existed in that union of death called Nigeria. Again, why will it exist when we are marked for death, right? By our colonial masters, they left us there thinking that someone will actually take us out, and to their surprise, we are surviving. But the sad part is that we still have people that are collaborating with our colonizers to keep us down. So the indigenous people trapped within Nigeria cannot achieve good governance under this illicit military 1999 constitution, which only produce venomous parasitic leaders whose sole agenda is to embezzle our collective wealth, plunder, exploit, and then on top of that, bully our people. So the only feasible solution on the table is the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. Understand this. The Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. That proposition is the only thing that will take the power back away from these criminals in power, criminals in charge, that will take the power away from people coming from their grave, dead people. I've seen them on Facebook. Dead men are on our platform asking us to vote for presidency. You can see that you too can be part of this team who wants a better life for our people. Are you the change agent that we're looking for? Are you that ambassador of change that we are looking for? We have to get this work done, because if not, Tinubu will continue to come to be your president. Abubakar, is that his name? will come out to be your president. Everyone that we know for sure, even people that are not even Nigerians, will come out to be our president. So let's start today by playing our first video so that you can see the depth of the problems that we find ourselves in. Sister, please go ahead.
Thank you, Stamona. Thank you, our viewers. Thank you for, you can see that you're sharing because we can see when people share and like. We appreciate you. Like we said, this work, we're doing it together. So the first video, from this 4 video, what we want you to take out is for you to understand that our political elites, whether Fulani elites, Igbo elites, Yoruba elites, Ijaw elites, those cabals, those elites that call themselves elites, are the reason why Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. Elites like Professor Mogalo, Professor Tommy, they are the ones holding us down because they have refused to allow this change, this fundamental change that is needed. They want to go and get their own cake because it's cake time. Whether people are dying, they don't care. Whether people are, they will come and speak big English for us, as if we don't know all these problems and all these solutions already. We're asking you, why is it that after 100 years of existence, we couldn't do these things? Professor Mogalo, or whatever you call yourself, you're speaking English. You think we don't know those things, those theories? We know them. We all went to school. We don't even know how your own, these people that bear professor, we don't know the name of it. We are saying there is need for a fundamental change. This Nigeria that you're seeing cannot be built because there are certain things in the foundation that will not allow it. You can't even smell Aso Rock. You can't go near. You're wasting our time. You cannot get to Aso Rock alive. It's either they kill you or you don't make it. But my problem is not that you're trying. My problem is that you're wasting our time. That's my
precious time, for that matter.
Precious time, the time that we do not have. Because we are in a critical moment. This is emergency. People are dying every day. The change that we require is not the one that you wait for 2023 for somebody that wants to gamble with some things that he's not sure about to come again and deceive us. It's not about manifesto. There is a change that needs to happen before we can begin politicking. Listen to this video just for you to understand that other people understand our problem as well. Why is it that you, so-called professors, cannot understand the same problem?
And African countries became more and more divided with each election in the 1960s and 70s. So now groups of people were not only divided based on ethnicity, but also separated politically based on where they were born. From the perspective of a politician, this made perfect sense. If you want to win votes, appeal to certain ethnic groups. But from the perspective of the country as a whole, it made the country more difficult to govern over time. And if a candidate decided to appeal to the whole country instead of specific ethnic groups, then they would lose elections. And so, through a natural process, African nations tended to become more divided after independence, all thanks to the social and political systems left behind by their former colonizers. A prominent example of where this went horribly wrong was Rwanda, with the Rwandan genocide, where over 500,000 members of the Tutsi ethnic group were massacred along with many other crimes against humanity. Once a party got into power, they would try to keep the power for themselves. Many Africans saw democracy as nothing more than a mess of infighting, with opposition parties abusing their power to hinder the greater national interest. Therefore, a single-party system was created in many African nations in the years following independence by crushing the opposition. And in countries with hundreds of different cultures and languages, it makes sense that you wouldn't want to deal with all of them vying for power. By the 1980s, the elites had taken full control over the political system in most African countries. And so, very little changed after independence, with European elites replaced with African elites. And those new elites were concerned that they would be overthrown in a coup. So, how were they going to keep themselves in power? Well, by taking the money intended for economic development and handing them out as salaries to powerful government officials to keep them happy enough that they wouldn't start a rebellion. But whereas colonies had oversight from their European government, who would fire anyone getting too corrupt, the new leaders had no such oversight. And to show just how incompetent some of these governments are, in the Central African Republic, the government didn't even keep proper records of financial transactions. By 1964, Senegal spent 47% of the government budget on the elites, 58% in Ivory Coast, and 65% in Dahomey, now called Benin. And if outsiders wanted access to African resources, all they had to do was bribe government officials to get access. And so African governments and companies started paying money to the African elites to gain access to the resources rich nations needed to run their own economies. As a result, the elites became richer, while the poor became even poorer. So, if you're an oil company, all you have to do is bribe government officials and you can extract all the oil that you want. The elites would get a portion of the profits, while the people would see no benefits from resources taken from their own country. This is a system which is still active in many parts of Africa to this day. And if you're a country or company who does not want to give money to corrupt politicians, then there will always be somebody else who is willing to pay. As a result, anyone who thinks morality is more important than those resources will always be outcompeted by the ones who are willing to pay the bribe. Thus, you create a system where world leaders who are willing to pay those bribes will always have an advantage over those who won't pay bribes. And over time, bribes had become the norm in Africa. The Africans were not stupid, of course, and saw what was happening. They would often protest or even start rebellions to stop their own exploitation. But in the 1960s, African countries did not have a strong enough military to keep the peace. So, who did they call upon to restore order? Well, their
Colonial
former
masters.
colonizers. The French and British in particular suppressed rebellions and protests across Africa in exchange for greater access to African resources. For example, in 1962, French troops broke up fighting in what is now called the Republic of Congo and put down a rebellion in Cameroon. The British meanwhile suppressed mutinies in Kenya and Tanzania. By 1965, these military interventions became common across Africa, from Algeria to Congo, Benin, the Central African Republic, Upper Volta, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, all independent countries, and all had European troops stationed there to secure European access to African resources. African nations experienced around 40 successful coups within the first 2 decades after independence, and so Africa gained a reputation for being a very unstable country. So unstable, in fact, that almost nobody wanted to invest in Africa anymore except for their resources. And this highlights another issue. People think of Africa as a single entity, a continent filled with poverty and war. So when someone hears about, for example, Boko Haram in Nigeria, it is often grouped with the rest of Africa as just being another war in a continent filled with war. Yet what most people don't realize is that the area in which they operate is over 1,000 kilometers away from Nigeria's economic centers and has almost no effect on business. They are further away than Amsterdam is from Warsaw. But companies will still refuse to do business in Africa because of this belief. And this creates a cycle. People group Africa together as a poor continent, resulting in less business, which results in Africa staying in poverty. It is for this reason that throughout this video I have used the words most, almost all, or few quite a lot to show that Africa is a diverse area and simply cannot be grouped together in most cases due to this diversity in peoples, landscapes, and cultures. Despite all these issues, some things did improve in Africa. By the 1980s, African politics started to stabilize with fewer coups.
All right, so we'll continue this video. Let's just go ahead and add some more information to this. Sister, go ahead. Let me find the
So,
video.
my people, we're saying that even people that are not Africans are following what is going on in Africa and African nations, because these things are not hidden. And that's why we cannot understand why people that call themselves professors cannot grab this information. They are in the open, they are not hidden at all. And in summary, we are saying that the colonial structures in Africa must be dismantled, and in Nigeria specifically, must be dismantled for us to move forward. And Nina's proposition is our own indigenous solution for our local problem and our local disputes. Those that remember the Ahara proposition during the Biafran War, we wanted to solve our internal problems because we knew our problems. We knew that having lost the federation, that at least because of how we are very diverse. We are diverse nations, cultures, so many things that we will need a confederation. And that was what that proposition was about.
Mm-hmm.
And the colonial masters ruined it thanks to their stooges. And then rather than that correction, fixing that thing, we went into full-blown war and genocide. At the end, up to 5 million people were killed, which they are not ready to recognize. They will recognize Rwanda genocide. They will recognize Jewish Holocaust. What about Igbo Holocaust? What about Biafra Holocaust? When are you going to recognize it? And that's the problem we tell our brothers that like making noise about Biafra. That making noise is not the issue. If you make noise, they will join you to make noise. Some lawyers will even come and join you to get their own money because they can see that you have free money to throw around. So they will come and share the money. But you ask, you have always known the truth. You are a Nigerian lawyer. How come you did not support NINAS to solve this problem? Rather, you will join in the euphemism, the one that is making noise. Let's make noise and collect our money. Rather than joining in solving the problem, giving it a lasting solution. Decolonization is what needs to happen in Africa and in Nigeria. And that is what Nina's proposition is all about. We need our own local solution to our local problem. We don't need foreigners to come and do it for us. We can do it by ourselves. We have brains. We have sense to do these things. Watch again in the next section some of the things he said. Because there are people in Africa that have been speaking and are listening to them. That's why they make some of this comment show for people that should know to know. We're asking, why is it that our own elites are stubborn, deaf, dumb, wicked, stupid, reckless, anything you can call it? Why is it that they've refused to allow this change to happen so that we can move forward? Why do they like deceiving us, playing games around? Go ahead, please, sister.
It's sad, my sister. It's sad. Even this guy did a very good narration by informing them how the system was set up only to benefit the colonizers. And
Exactly.
we're still talking about the same system. They will never set it up for you to be free. They set it up in order to have corrupt officials for them to come in and take resources to build their own nation. You heard the man say it in there. And until we change that whole system, until we totally dismantle, like radicalize that whole system to benefit us, we will be running in circle. And the political system in Nigeria is one of those ways that the colonial masters will continue to have a stronghold on us. If we don't get rid of whatever that is going on in Nigeria right now by following NINAS protocols, then we will be running, this whole thing will be happening. And the worst part of it is that they will not mind to sit again and watch second Rwanda genocide. They will not mind again to watch another Biafran genocide, they will not mind. As long as their business is flowing, you guys will be fighting war and they will be coming there to pick their resources and fly out. So you see that we can no longer allow our enemies to dictate for us. Time have come. We are so mature. We have come of age to deal with this problem. Why do you guys think God sent us all over the world? For those of you that are still in doubt if I'm able to do this, look at the great work you have done. Whatever you may have found yourselves. We have been everywhere all over the world and we're able to survive just with one suitcase into any country. Before you know it, we have made a home, we have started a business, we have done it all. So why is it then that we are leaving our destiny in the hands of those representing the colonial masters? You see, going to 2023 election will renew our enslavement. It will continue this paradigm that our colonial masters started before they left. They will continue to serve them until we understand that if we want our power back, excuse me, and start all over, that is the beginning of good things in our lives. But if we continue to speak English and call ourselves professors and we have 20 microphones in front of our faces, then that means we are not ready to go yet. And the good part about all of these things is that God is not coming down. He's not going to change this because God has a proposal on the table called NINAS proposal. If you think that fasting and praying and going to election will change it for you, then you'll be lying to yourself. I will play this next video.
These policies primarily focused on using the strength of Africans themselves, rather than by having policies enforced upon them by the outside world. The African Renaissance can only succeed if its aims and objectives are defined by Africans themselves, if its programs are designed by Africans ourselves, and if we take responsibility for the success or failure of our policies. African countries started to work together more through institutions like the African Union by reducing trade barriers to make trade between African countries easier.
That's what you think.
Investing in stable governments to make sure that you didn't have to worry about a civil war right across your border. And by creating various agencies to cultivate African talents. And these trends have had an effect in the last 3 decades, with some African countries now being the fastest growing economies in the world. And so we arrive in the 21st century, where history is too recent to make any real historical analyses. However, there are some trends worth noting. Africa is still facing many issues. They are the least prepared for climate change, while probably suffering the most under it. A third of all children are malnourished. A third of children don't finish high school. Extremists find it easy to recruit the vast amounts of poor, unemployed young people. Pandemics are common across the continent, with COVID being just one among many, and the economic development of Africa is limited to certain countries. African countries are looking at the economic successes of East Asian countries and are adapting those policies for their own countries. This is resulting in factories, agricultural centers, and tech centers being opened across
agricultural centers owned by other countries, right? And that's what we have to, when our brother earlier said that we have to have aims and objectives that is developed by Africans, run by Africans, shared by Africans. If not, these people will continue to misconstrue information. Yes, there are businesses in the land, but how many of them are owned by the indigenous peoples? The businesses that we see there are the Indians producing mass phone for their own country. We see Chinese building our airport or railroad, speak even with Chinese translation on it. So is that really the development that we want?
And we have civil engineers.
We have
civil engineers.
And then we are taking billions and billions of loans that we know very soon that China will now colonize us the second way around. So you see that we don't have time to waste. You see that we cannot continue to play with the political thoughts that call themselves our leaders anymore. You can see that we cannot allow another round of 2023 election to commence upon us because we know what that means. It's another group of people that will come like President Bubu to collect billions of dollars to repair his toilets, billions of dollars for his son to marry a wife and him becoming whatever they made him. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars that our children, they will never have any way to pay it, because right now our educational status in terms of our children graduating from school is very low. So how are we going to compete with people that are already up here when we are way, way down here? Then we are piling ourselves on top of that, debts on top of our head, on top of, you see that we are not going anywhere. So
No.
any more election of 2023 will just, it will just do us under, period. There's no other way to do it. It will literally do us under. And that's why we are desperate for people to understand this NINA's proposal. And don't let that rise. Don't let the fakeness of whatever they're doing around there deceive you. That if we can change all of this, and there's nothing the world can do, they're waiting for us to change it.
Exactly.
They're waiting for us to change it. Go ahead, sister.
And the thing is that when our population was small, we could manage these few crumbs from colonial masters and their stooges. But you know what? Now we are over 200 million. So we can't manage these crumbs anymore. And that's why you see more trouble. So it's either we kill and eat ourselves, because when we don't have anything to eat, we start killing and eating ourselves now. So it's either we kill and eat ourselves, or we kill and eat the politicians. Somebody has to be eaten. And this is why we are telling their politicians, soon the people will start eating you. You see, they're eating themselves right now. Don't think that your high walls will protect you. Kinsley Morgan, Pato Tommy. Your high walls will not protect you. Leaving your children abroad will not protect you. The people are eating themselves right now. Go and see what is happening in the land. Soon they will start eating you politicians, because they will understand this thing, that you are the ones holding them down. So they will start cutting you and eating you, using you for barbecue. Embrace NINA's proposition. This proposition is very timely. It's a local solution for local crisis. Government of Nigerians, for Nigerians. It is not by Nigerians, not government of Fulanese and Britain over Nigerians. When it's voting time, they will say the South is minority. And then our people in the South will start going to the North and call them their kingmakers.
Try.
When it's time for federal allocation of resources, they will say South is minority and North will get the lion's share. When it's time for generation and contribution of wealth into the federal purse, North will bring little to the table, while South will carry the entire burden. This is a case of monkey they walk, baboon they chop. The kingmakers, who always choose leaders over us, should get ready to generate resources, because music is about to change. When you see this video, these are the real youths, not Sherima Shetima or Sherima Yerima or Yerima Shetima, whatever he's calling himself, that is 70 years and saying he's a youth. These are the youths from the North. So that for you to understand that it's not this thing that are painting through media that will help us. It's not the fake rice and granite pyramid that will save them this time around. There's hunger in the land. People should get ready, because that sand that you're putting inside bag and putting on top of that wood and say is rice pyramid, very soon the people that did not get the rice will eat you, starting from Bubu to Tifunibu to Osibanjo, to all of you that have refused to allow the people to move forward. They will eat you up. Look at what these children are doing. Then you see, these are Nigerians. This is Buhari's poster. Those that can understand Hausa and those that cannot understand Hausa, watch the children and see how they move. See their reaction to ordinary poster. They will begin to understand what they will do to human beings when they see the people. Because hunger is real. It is not a joke.
My gosh.
Because of time, we can play the next one. But we are using this to show our people real reaction, not adulterated reaction, not stage man reaction, not the one that media, NTA will come and channels will come and paint and show you. Real feelings. These are children. Imagine what these are youths and children. Imagine what their parents will do. Now, this is what their reaction to ordinary poster. Imagine what they would do to the human being. Do you people understand that what you're cooking, you will soon eat it? And NINAS is here to help you so that we get a well-tailored solution. We will fix these things and not go into explosion. This is interview on the street. These are real Nigerians that will tell you how they feel. Listen, for you to see that our campaign is working, it's getting to the grassroots. And when that information goes round, I'm telling you, your lie cannot sell anymore. Your lie has expiry date. And we are here to make sure you get to that expiry date by teaching our people the right thing, by teaching our people truth, and then presenting solution to them. Please go ahead, Sister Mona.
Supposed to be caught. Is it not that fool that said that he has dismantled the Boko Haram? Now, what do I want to say is not a new thing. There are many books that Buhari has brought to Nigeria. Many criminals, we brought them to books, we do this, we do that. You see, there is nothing new in Nigeria. The only solution to this country is referendum. They should not deceive themselves. Nigeria is a dead country. It's a failed nation. Whether they like it or not, if they don't do it in time and they allow Nigeria to restructure itself, they won't like it. All these people that they thought that they are in secure place today, all of them, they will look for a way to run away from this country that will be waiting for them. Go to Lagos now. Go even in this Abuja. Who can walk freely now? How many people can walk freely in federal capital? NSAS, that's a warning. The next one, hey, even UN that closing their ear and eyes now, they will come, they will call, nobody will listen to them. Nothing like 2023 election. It's a voodoo. All things that can make Nigeria to be peaceful before 2023, let Buhari write his name with golden pen. If it's truly meant for Nigeria, let them call for council conference or a referendum. Let people speak their mind out, not the election. Who want to be an election? Is it the somebody who want to contest? Tinubu, road, Sam robber, killer, want to rule this country. I'm a Yoruba man, but I can never support when it comes to the issue of Nigeria. Somebody like Tinubu is not worth to become a councillor again. Not talk of president. Who are those people? Is Buhari going to support Tinubu, or who is the candidate that we have now? And then if anybody comes without the referendum, there can never be peace in this country, because any country that is injustice, there can never be peace.
Nope.
Let all the pastor, Adeboye, Kumuyi, all of them pray. Let all the imam come together. There can never be peace in this country, or else there is injustice. That's the truth. Fact. God is not. We cannot continue to fool God.
It has been the same old story. Charging and charging and charging. The same old wine in a new bottle. The result will still remain the same. They say rejuggling of the security apparatus. The result will still remain the same. What this country needs is total restructuring. It's total what? Restructuring. Security have to be decentralized. Charging the security chief have been the order of the day since 1998. Has anything changed? Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
It's the same old story, and it will bring out the same result. What are the results? Killing, burning of houses, destruction of innocent Nigerian properties from north to south. That is the result of the charging, and nothing good will come out of it, except and until Nigeria is restructured, total restructure, political restructure, economic restructure, security restructure. That will be the solution of Nigeria problem.
The insecurity, something to do with joblessness, hungry, and also we have, don't get me wrong, we still have jihadists who are doing this to convert everybody to Christianity. Yes, I've been saying it for the past 3 years. There are some jihadists who are doing this in the far north to convert everything, everybody to Islam. You see, coming to the elections. Electoral bill or no electoral bill. Some elections in Nigeria has not been honored. OBJ during his own time, 2003, he rigged Buhari and Ojukwu. In 2007, he rigged Buhari and Ojukwu. Buhari himself in 2019, he knows that he didn't win the election. He rigged. So how can Nigeria be deceiving themselves? Pastors, lecturers, lawyers, doctors, they say to go and register, go and have your voter's card. At the end of the day, somebody who didn't win the election we take charge. Look at Imo State. Look at Ekiti State. To me, Nigeria is going down. I'm sorry.
There's no objectivity in analyzing political situations, the development of the polity, and all those stuff. So because of that, most people will not want to, because our president Chadi decided to take actions against the ban. It's something they have done. We have made several pronouncements about it, and we saw the promises he made when he was coming to power, that 2 months after his section, that banditry and Boko Haram will be a thing of the past. But what have we seen? We've seen, instead of a confederation of banditry activities, Boko Haram activities escalating beyond the point where it was before he came to power. So it's not something one can just really delve into. But like I said, I'm not looking at the headline.
All right, so we'll stop sharing here. Please help us to continue to share. You can see that Facebook is again at work, doing what it needs to do, because they are part of the colonial masters. They are part of the ones that don't want us to understand what it takes to be, to be an independent nation, true independent nation. So we know what they're doing. So if you want us to overcome this, please continue to help us to share throughout the show. They are blocking this. If I was here now twerking, doing all kinds of stuff, they will allow 1 million people. But for the fact that we are talking about what we use to liberate Africans, liberate ourselves, so that we can build our own Facebook and have other people come and use it. That's what this is all about. They want us to continue to while away in ignorance, continue to, act like children when we are adults, continue to call ourselves youth when we are 70. When other youths of 70-year-old in other countries have retired and waiting for their checks to come in the mail so they can go on vacation. So please help us to continue to share. You can see that our people are frustrated. The good news is that they understand that it's a problem at hand and they have a way to solve it. Everything must come down. People must be given a voice to decide what to do in that nation before any freaking election. It's just that simple. So for those of you telling people to go and pick up your PVCs, ignorant people that are hiding somewhere overseas, telling people go and pick up your PVCs, Tinubu, the dead man himself, he actually came back from the dead, because, they talk to each other in the spirit, to tell you that your PVC has expired, people. Do you know what they did to
how
that
your voting will expire too.
Yes, that's how your voting will expire. He knew. It's only God, this God that we pray for or pray to. Do you know the only reason why that thing came out of his mind, because came out of his mouth, is because he's running for an election?
Yes.
That PVC was left with no expiration date. So you, the monkey, will tell yourself that you have a PVC.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there and swipe it, you will act like a swipe, but nothing will read for you.
It has
If
always
your
been
president, Jonathan, can be struggling to have his own PVC recognized, your president, Jonathan,
yes.
Imagine you, the monkey and the baboons.
Mm.
What kind of PVC card you have? Don't let the shininess, because they have the Americanized system, so it looks shiny. It looks like something you can get when you go to Europe or US. It's fake. Tinubu told you that your stupid PVC has expired. Go and renew it. How do you know? We cannot afford to go to this election, my people. Go ahead, sister.
And it has been the case over and over. Some people think it started with Buhari. Buhari just came to make it louder. This is what is going to happen to you when we eat you up, and nothing will happen. Because it's about self-determination for Fulanis. Buhari has been preaching self-determination for his own people. The only difference is that for him, you will die for Fulani to take your land. So they need to kill you. Either they chase you out of your land, they kill you, all the things they will do to you with the British people, and you will move and they will take over the land. Britain will prefer to have Fulanis on your land because they can get whatever they want to get from Fulani. So they will aid them. But you know what? They cannot do that except you are stupid, except you are gullible and allow them.
Mm-hmm.
This NINAS proposition did not come out now. It's just that it has been in phases. The first phase is to get the alliance to work before the public will hear. Because if you make it public, they will kill all the people working for the alliance. Do you know that Obasanjo, I heard that Obasanjo in his own time killed a lot of people, up to 100 people, working on this proposition underground, because we told the people that this proposition, Nina's proposition, has been on for about 21 years. People have been working on it with their resources. The real patriots, the people that love the human beings, they have been working on it. And Obasanjo in his own time knew about this proposition. What did he do? He killed the people, closed down banks, just to make sure that this proposition does not see the light of the day. But what happened? Things got worse. Now we have more agitating groups. Now, currently, and more are coming, because the problem needs to be changed, solved. We have told you here that the introduction of Sharia law in 12 northern contiguous states means that the people of that part have left the country. They have left the secular nation that we thought we were building. This current Nigeria is not the nation our forefathers negotiated for. It has been hijacked. So it is time to renegotiate our existence. Whatever it will take, we must talk to our people. Those that are trying to drag us to that general election, that 2023, they are our people. Abaribe is Igbo man. Mogalo is Igbo man. Otomi is Igbo man, or part Otomi, or whatever he calls himself. All these people are from the south. You see, the Fulanis cannot work except they use our own people. So we are saying, talk to your people. Because the blood that will come, the blood shed that will come, you will not imagine it. Whatever it takes, we must talk to our people. The bloodshed that they are avoiding. Because some people say, oh, if we try to push for self-determination, there will be massacre. No, not through NINA's proposition. The massacre that is coming is going to come among the politicians, APC, PDP, and the thugs, you children, you youths that will decide to work for APC and work for PDP. You will be killed. You are the ones that will be killed. It's like when we are warning those that are doing self-determination, doing freedom fighting. We said, if you go this way, Nigeria will send his people and they will kill you. Some of the boys that we have been working for in this project before now, we told you we are with them. Some of them are dead as we speak. They have been killed.
A lot of them.
A lot of them, we can't even locate them anymore because they failed to listen. We told them there is a process that will ensure them to be alive and see these new nations that we're talking about. They said, no, we want action. We want action. We want to do something. They carried broomstick, cutlass, bottle, broken bottle, and enter inside forest because they want to take action. We told them that's not the type of action that we are talking about in 21st century. But what happened? They got killed. So please, we are pleading with you. Go to your pastors, go to your priests, go to your GOs, go to your traditional rulers, talk to them, talk to your politicians, because there will be more insecurities, there will be more hunger in the land. Now people are asking us, what can they do? Spread this gospel. That's what you can do. Spread this information. The work has been completed. The proposition is on the table and everything you can think of is in that proposition. Now is your responsibility to go and talk, go and deliver the message to the people to hear. It's not only Buhari. Some people think that when you vote out Buhari, then you will not be okay. The fact is that you can't even vote out Buhari. You tried to vote him out now in 2019. Did you vote him out? You did not vote him out. So whether Buhari is here or is not here, our people, what is happening will continue to happen because it's a bigger plan. Go and deliver this message. It's not only Buhari that knows how to deliver message in a way his enemy will understand. You go to the Igbo Efulefus, those that are begging the North to make them king. Somebody was saying that with time, those people, that when they go and make such statement, before they get back to our land, they will get a response that they never fought for, that they never thought of. Stop jumping up and down. Stop kidnapping our innocent people. Please, there is work to be done. If you can listen to what we are saying, you will understand the work and know where to go. Your brothers that are going to make stupid comments, assuming that you have delivered this message properly to them, the next person will not make that type of statement. Go and ask them, are they not hearing that there's a solution on the table? There are many ways to deliver a message. What is important is that when you deliver the message, the person hears it. There are many ways to deliver a message. We can't be saying things here. You know it. Stop suffering my people. Stop making them to sit at home for 1 week. That's not intelligent. Why are you doing this to them? You're making them to suffer. You're making their lives more miserable. How is sitting at home for my people, how is it going to affect Fulani man that is living in the north? How is it going to affect the Igbo elites that are living, not even living in Biafra land, that are busy living in Abuja and Lagos? See, the proposition is on the table, NINA's proposition. Each block needs to understand it so that they will understand how they can make it happen in their own block. The Yorubas are having a meeting today. They invited Brother Tony to come and speak to them. They are working in their land. The Middle Belt people are working in their land. Our own block, the Lower Niger block, we need to work in our land. Stop making my people to die for nothing. Stop killing my people for nothing. There is work to be done, and you need to understand this proposition so that you understand the work you need to do. Please, this thing we're saying is going to get hotter. The next video that my sister put up here, is for those in diaspora. Those that think that because they are British citizens, American citizens, Chinese citizens, tsunami citizen, where all those countries that they call. Because you are there, you think you are safe. Something is coming for you. Watch this video, that will give you an idea what is ahead. Thank you.
The Nationality Borders Bill, which is before Parliament and has received second reading. We look at this particular bill because of the controversy that it has generated over the last few weeks. Although we were alerted last year about certain aspects of the bill, particularly Clause 9, some people call it Clause 19, which is very draconian and life-changing for migrants and migrant British citizens in the UK. Clause 9 of the new bill, if passed, will deprive British citizens of their citizenship, and it gives the Secretary of State power not to give them notice of the deprivation. The concern we have is that under the current law, particularly Section 45 of the British Nationality Act of 1981, the Secretary of State has a duty to serve any person who's been deprived of their British citizens. Can you imagine being deprived of your British citizenship and not being provided with notice of the deprivation? Can you imagine traveling out of the country, arriving at Heathrow Airport and being informed that although you left as a British citizen, you are no longer a British citizen and you will not be allowed to enter the UK? Can you imagine that being a British citizen, suddenly you receive a letter from the driver's license DVLA to inform you your driver's license has been revoked, or that your employment has ceased because your British citizenship has been revoked? It may be that is the first time that you've been informed that your British citizenship has been revoked. This is why members of Parliament on both sides have raised particular issues with this aspect of the law. How can they deprive you of your citizenship without notification? Your citizenship can be revoked without notification, one, if it is impractical to inform you. Impracticability has not been defined. Two, why they do not know your whereabouts. Three, if there are national security concerns. Four, for diplomatic reasons. And five, for any other reason which is in the interest of the state. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have problems with this particular bill.
All right, so
who defines what in practice?
Because of time factor, we are going to post this on our Facebook page. The point that this guy is trying to make is that you can wake up one day and your citizenship is gone. You can wake up one day, you can actually go to your country or whatever, leave the country to come back only for them to tell you at the airport that you're no longer a citizen. So you see, there is an urgency for us to get this work done. You don't know when these people will wake up and do what they're going to do. And on top of that, you don't have government on the other side that will fight for you and say, hey, this is an injustice, or sue the country. They can't even, there's nobody there to defend you. So you can no longer sit in the comfort of your own citizenship, wherever you may find yourself, and think that it's okay for what is going on in our land to be going on. Because a lot of us have already gone home this Christmas. We made our COVID dollar. We went to show it off and we come right back because it's comfortable here. And we're saying that it does not make sense not to make your home, your first home, comfortable. Because you don't know when the other side will make it uncomfortable for you. Whenever there's insecurity or whatever, you fly right back. You have your own little house waiting for you on the other side. Time is of essence, y'all. God is giving us little signs here and there, and we keep pretending like we don't know what he's saying because do you know who we are? We're telling you that time is limited. Let's do the right thing. Let's get together. Let's put hands to help this NINAS proposal come to fruition so that we'll have an alternative. If for some reason you don't care, but at least make it an alternative just in case it's hot on the other side. Because it can be hot. People are sleeping in Britain and they're passing this bill 19 that our brother is trying to explain to our people. They don't even know what is going on. They're busy returning back from their vacation, returning back from showing off. Some of them went to a club, they had a good time. They don't know that Boris Johnson and co are there cooking up something that can deprive you of something. That
because
is
the colonial masters want their land back.
Yeah. And the lawyer is also saying that it will even extend to your children that are born in Britain. So you don't get it twisted. You may say, okay, I'm old, I will just go back and die in the village. No, they will be shipping you and your children back.
Sister Muna, the elites living in our land all ran to give the birth to their children in Britain. Those people that when we are telling them, let's fix this land, they have in mind that their children are British citizens. That when it gets hot, they will escape. Good news. When you now escape, get there, they will revoke the citizenship. You are back to where you are coming. You know where you end? Mediterranean Sea. That's where you end. Because here is now hot. The Fulanis are here. The Fulani, the Caliphate, they've taken over Nigeria. The owners of the land, the colonial masters, have revoked whatever. You see, ask yourself, what made them, how did you become a citizen of that land? Is it not law they made? If you watch this video that we played just now to the end, you tell you that laws are made and laws could be revoked. Just one policy, everything is changed. So if you took a law to make you a British citizen, it can only also take a law to unmake you because you're not indigenous. You see why we're telling you that we are indigenous in our land. Come, let's work.
Our birthright.
Go ahead.
No, I say it's our birthright.
Exactly. So you and your children cannot run anywhere. Let's fix our land. Is our birthright, like Sister Mona said. That land, we inherited it. And we need to decide what happens on it. Not Britain, not Fulani, not the foreigners, nobody. The resources in those lands ought to belong to us. And we will say what to do with them. So self-determination is our right. It will not lead to any massacre. Please, those of you that are so afraid, the dangerous part of the work has been done. And when they were doing it, you are not even aware. Obasanjo was busy killing the people that did this work, trying to get their money that they're using, closing down banks. Do you know how many years that was? That was before Buhari even came. We told you that at the time Buhari was part of this work. But they moved when they understood that this work will not, that their forefathers' desire to conquer everyone, that this work will stop that desire. They moved away and introduced Sharia in the northern parts. Because with that, they can now conquer the whole Nigeria. It will be easier for them to conquer. And we're telling our people, we can use this to work and get our freedom. Stop following Fulanis into their slaughterhouse that they call 2023 election. 2023 election is a slaughterhouse, and the Fulanis will kill you. Rather than give you that presidential slot, they will kill you. See, they are pushing Tinubu in one hand. They are pushing Omahi and all the other mad people in the other hand. How many presidents are you going to produce? They want to make your heads to jam and you kill yourselves and they will still Fulanize you. And we are telling you people that under NINA's proposition, self-defense is part of self-determination. Each block, you can make use of NINA's proposition to protect your people. Protection, you are entitled to it. You are entitled to protecting your citizens. Security is part of it. But you have to do it in a right way. There's a process to it. Not carrying machetes and bottles and running inside bush. That is not the security that we are talking about. You need to pay attention to the lessons from NINAS secretariat. You cannot take out Fulanis. You can't take Fulanis out of Nigeria by voting. Their system is already rigged. That system is already rigged. You cannot beat them in their own game. The system is corrupt, is full of deception and manipulation. It is rigged against you, the Southerner. You cannot outplay them. That's what we're telling you. But if you change the system and make this system a level playing ground, then tomorrow your voting will make sense. But as of today, under 1999 Constitution, stop fooling yourself around. Stop fooling around. The system has been rigged against you. You can't outplay them. There's something we want our people to do. Sister Mona, please go ahead.
My dear, I'm just here thinking in my head, how can this be so difficult to understand? Is it that our people don't want better, or they are so defeated they don't understand? I mean, what is it that is going on that they don't want to take their power back? You have done something over and over, election over and over again, and nothing changes. And my people are still there, gallivanting about elections. Does that even make sense? And the worst part is that it's the people that call themselves professors. In America, where we are, is the elite that helps the poor.
Yeah.
Is the elite that speaks on behalf of the poor. Is the elite that will start charity cause. Is the elite that will compel the government to do the right thing. Is the elite. In our own place, is the elite that will make sure that we stay down so they can be up and up and up.
All right.
What kind of educational system did they receive that is not working for our people, but working for the colonial masters who so-called gave them the education? This is insane. People are tying themselves up in the church. People are lying to themselves about everything. I mean, it's insane. What kind of fakeness is this?
No, that's what happens.
Everything.
That's what happens when people allow lies and deception. The thing is that eventually, the lie and deception will grow to the point that people are unable to differentiate truth from lies. So when you are telling them truth, they don't know anymore, because they have they have lived in deception and manipulation that they can't think for themselves anymore. So they're not able to understand what you're saying. And those that will understand will rather use it and make money. The criminals that say they're doing freedom fighting for you, they will use it and make money, because it's about fame and money making. And we've been telling you, go to your churches, talk to your pastors. This is a pastor. Listen to what he's saying, because this is the only thing we want our pastors to be preaching now. Any pastor that is not preaching what this man is preaching right now, he should close his church down. We don't want those lies anymore. Enough of the lies. Close your shop, because we have told you that those churches are business centers.
They are.
They are not preaching Christ, and Christ has left those churches. Those churches that you have in Nigeria, because it doesn't make sense that you're preaching the gospel, true gospel, and there's poverty, there's too much poverty, there's too much killing, Christians being killed, no change, life is going from bad to worse. It is not Christ that you're preaching. It is a business center. And we're saying, go to your pastors. You belong to churches. You have been giving them money for years. We told you in that show. You've been giving them money for years. So you have rights to talk to them. You employ them. You have been paying them, buying cars for them, building houses for them, schools and hospitals, setting up businesses for them. So it is your turn to go and talk to your pastors. Say, we want you to preach what this man is preaching now. Else, close your shop. Close your church, because it's not useful. It's useless to the people. This thing we are saying, we are not joking. With time, people will come to those churches and force them to close down. It's going to get there. Listen to what this pastor is saying.
Be able to deliver on God's purposes for this nation. Does he have a purpose for it? Of course. Look at the amount of resources he has put in Nigeria. Look at the resilience of the Nigerian. Look at how Nigerians are succeeding everywhere in the world, whether they left Nigeria 400 years ago or left Nigeria on a plane 50 years ago. They excel. We're at the top of the treasury in the United States. We're at the top of the World Bank. The list is very long in all sciences and in all the arts. So the problem is not Nigerians. It is Nigeria and its constitution. The document upon which we were formed was a few soldiers who put it together and their surrogates. And that's what's supposedly holding us together. The foundation is that document. And if that foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? We've got to go back to the foundation. The next administration must not access power until we have a veritable constitution that is truly the document of we the people. You hear what I'm saying to you? Anything else is a fraud. Nigeria is a scam. It's a scam, and it's perpetuated itself too long. It's time to do something about it. No politician has the right to talk to us on this matter unless they believe as we believe. On this matter, Nigeria can do better, she can get better, and she can win. We are suffering in Nigeria in our hundreds of millions, whereas we need not to. We could easily be one of the top 3 countries in the world with the kind of resources we have. And it's about time that we let the international community know that they must be partial. Don't come and tell us that you're protecting democracy.
They're protecting democracy. That's what they're protecting. Lying to us.
And protecting their resource, their land. They are stealing. Because they are stealing. That's why they are protecting this thing called Nigeria. This crime against humanity. The only reason any white man or any government will protect Nigeria as it is currently constituted is because they want to steal from the people. They want to violate the rights of the people. They want to kill my people and steal the resources from the land. And we're saying we want to take our lands back. We want to take the nations back. And it's going to involve everyone. Because you know what? Everyone was there when it got bad. The church, you were there when politicians started stealing from my people. The political class, you were there. The traditional leaders, you were there. Parents, you were there. And these things happened. So you're going to be part of the solution. It is not what Tony Nadi will do alone. It's not what Daughters of Truth will do alone. It's not what NINAS will do alone. We will work in this together and we will take back our lands and our resources. It's time for you to rise up from where you are and join what we're doing. We don't want unnecessary noise. We don't want stupid noise. We don't want lies and propaganda. You people have tried the ways of lies and propaganda. It did not work for you. You are back in Nigerian courts trying to get freedom. Nigeria captured you in a basket and you are in their courts asking to be free because you went the wrong way. Noise making is not the way.
Nope, not at all.
There is a strategy on the table and we want each person to understand it. We've done a lot of videos. Tony Nadi has done several videos and teachings. You hating Tony Nadi will not do anything for you. If you want, hate Tony Nadi from morning till night. The proposition is on the table, and that's your only way out.
Yep.
That's how my people say it. Sorry for those that don't understand Igbo. I spoke to my people in a language they will understand. I told them, I will repeat it. Mmiri doneju, doro wanketa. You see, this proposition is your only way out. You continue to go in circles, deceive yourself, lie to yourself, manipulate yourselves. When you're done, 2 things. Either you die or you follow the proposition and you'll be free.
Yep. That's it.
Because you have been caged all round. And the 1999 Constitution is the seal on your cage.
Yep.
The seal on your prison. Is the seal on your enslavement. And so far that Constitution is still alive, you will never be alive. This work was done in South Africa because we're not the first to start it. We told you that this thing that NINAS is preaching is an internationally acceptable standard. It's been done elsewhere. They just did it in Chile. It was done in South Africa through what you call CODESA. Google it. These are the days of internet. You are not permitted to remain ignorant. You're not permitted to remain stupid. Please stop following lies and propaganda. Listen to what we are telling you. As mothers of the land, we are speaking our truth, because when lies will kill you, we will say we spoke to you. Some of you are dying. They show us pits where they threw your bodies. And we remember that for 2 years we have warned you as the Adas of the land. We came out here every Saturday. We warned you. We said this is what is coming, but you remain stubborn. And what did they say about stubborn fly? The stubborn fly that refuses to listen to counsel. We follow the corpse to grave. And we're here again, speaking to you. CODESA in South Africa were the ones that worked out the mechanism and technicalities of transition. Also, they helped to clarify the changeover of political leadership. The interim government managed the transition from the old order to the new order, because we told you that the 1999 Constitution is like the apartheid constitution in South Africa. Through NINAS, indigenous peoples will be able to achieve their self-determination. They will be able to get the type of future they want for themselves and their children. Through NINA's proposition, their votes will begin to count. Their wealth will begin to work for them. Their people in exile will return home. Through NINA's proposition, our people will be able to choose their leaders by themselves and hold their leaders accountable. No one will impose all these never-do-wells leaders on them. We did this before. In Yoruba land, there's Awolowo's template. Awolowo used that template to create wealth for Yoruba people. In our own side, we have what you call the Aladinma document. We have shared it over and over again. We have our own forefathers. They created that Aladinma document. Go through it so that you understand the plan. But you know what? These people have been bullying us. The political class, the wicked, reckless political class, they have been bullying us into silence. Their bullies will not work anymore. These bullies, they have no message for us anymore. It's time for us to engage ourselves. We plead on the foreigners to please stop messing up our discussion. Each time these indigenous peoples want to solve their problem, these foreigners, because they want to steal our resources, will come in and mess it up. But you know what? That thing that you have been doing, that to the extent Nigeria has become a terrorist nation, the terrorism that you are breeding in Nigeria will be exported to Britain and America. So if you people do not allow us to solve this problem, the terrorists coming from the north, the Fulani Caliphate terrorists, will capture our resources and they will use it to destroy Britain, America, and all of you put together. So we plead on foreigners to stop disturbing, stop messing up our discussion. We, the indigenous peoples, want to have a discussion, want to have dialogue on how we're going to move forward or how we want to live in peace. in that land. Stop joining our heads together. Stop jamming our heads together through your political stooges. We don't want all this identity crisis. I'm an Igbo woman. I will negotiate from the point of my being an Igbo woman. Do not call me a tribalistic woman because I said I'm an Igbo woman. Meanwhile, you call yourself a British citizen. What gives you right to call yourself a British citizen and call me a tribalistic woman because I say I'm an Igbo woman?
What do you?
Stop calling us tribal men and women. We are nations. We are kingdoms. And we don't want to be reduced to tribes. Stop all this identity crisis. I want to speak Igbo language. I want to be able to teach my children in Igbo language. This is the language I inherited from my forefathers, and I want to pass it on. Every nationality in that space, that Nigerian space, is entitled to self-determination. They cannot be referred to as minority anymore.
No.
There is no nationality in Nigeria that is a minority group. So we're saying you want to decolonize the whole place. And part of the decolonization is stopping all these lies. The lies that have told us that some groups, some nations are majority and some nations are minority. That's a lie. We are equal members of the union. And every ethnic group, every ethnic nationality, every indigenous ethnic nationality deserve and have the right to be autonomous and have the right of self-determination. The sovereignty, their sovereignty is their right. It cannot be taken away from them.
Not
This
at
is
all.
what NINAS stands for. The white man carried some of our nationalities, put them in the bellies of other nationalities, and called them minority groups.
Ndori, criminals.
These are criminals. And we are saying, NINAS is saying no more. We need to bring them out of those bellies so they can stand. Even if there are 600,000 people, they need to stand as a people. They need to stand as a nation. They need to stand, have their self-determination, and make the decision to say, okay, I want to form confederation with this other nation. That decision is their right. That's what NINAS is saying. Whether you are called Midwest, whether you are called Middle Belt, whether you are called Niger Delta, whatever they call you, we want you to answer your indigenous name. If you are Ijo, you ought to be Ijo Nation. That is who you are. If you are Yoruba, you ought to be Yoruba Nation. If you are Tiv, if you are whatever, you know me, I'm Igbo. I know my own. You should know your own. And we say, when you have gone back, go back to your ancestral lands. Go and organize your people. And then when you have organized your people, there will be referendums. And you, as a people, will say what you want. You will say through the referendum, your voice will be heard. You will say, we want to be part of this nation. We don't want to be part of this nation. We want to form a new nation. This is what we want to do. You will say it. And we're saying, tell your politicians to stop these lies and deception. It is time for self-determination. It is not time for crooked elections. Stop this. And we're going to have transitional governments. The transitional government will have the framework, have timeline. It's not transitional government forever. If it's 6 months, if it's 1 year, if it's 2 years, these things have done before. They have been done in other countries before. Why people have done it? Why can't we do it? The transitional government will have a mandate, and they will move us from point A to point B. They will supervise referendums. UN will supervise it. All these people that like sending observers to fraudulent elections, stop it.
Yep.
The voting we want is to vote for our lives, vote for our freedom, vote to be alive. We need referendums, and we have a process for it. All we are saying is, please listen to NINAS. Join NINAS movement. No matter what your group is, we are not saying stop meeting with your boys that you're drinking and having fun with. We are saying, in addition to that, come in to understand the NINAS movement, NINAS proposition, understand what you're supposed to do in it so that we can get home fast. And then after that, politicking can begin. You can now know who to vote. Your vote will count after that. You will decide what to do with your resources. It will be no more monkey they walk, baboon they chop. Your children will be alive. That's the only time your life will be, your existence will be meaningful. Go ahead, please, Sister Mona.
My dear, you have said it all. It's a no-brainer. This is up to you guys. So when we say to stop the political recklessness and embrace Nina's propositions, we are not kidding. This is what it's all about. And we are only where we are right now because we don't understand the process. I truly believe that if the market woman in Aba market understand what Nina stands for, we are going home. Okay, Zikbazu cannot tell you that, are you the one that asked me to be the flyover? Do you even have a car to fly the over? My goodness gracious, in 2021, we have received so much insult with stooges parading as our representatives, only because we are lacking knowledge. And that's what we come here to do every Saturday, to enlighten our people. For those of you that don't want to read the NINA's proposals, at least you can hear what it is on this show. That's what this whole thing is all about. So when we say to help us to share, it's just for people to understand so that when Okezi Bazu is speaking, he will know that his days are numbered, that he's not representing us. None of them is representing us. We don't know. So we will call him on radio station to come and tell us, do you even have a bicycle to climb over the main road? He told people that you can use miracle. People will use hot water that's supposed to be used for chicken and pour it on the main road, and that's how the main road will melt. Can you imagine? It's a no-brainer, my people. God has given us our freedom. We are the ones playing with it and running in circles. Come on board, understand Nina's proposal, and we'll be home. We'll be scot-free. And then we can begin the nation building. That's another thing that drives me crazy. It's like someone who is going to school, you're going to school, you haven't even begun work yet. Going to school is to get the certificate so you can start the work. So what we're doing now is to get the certificate so that the work will begin. You see, we have no time. Before we know it now, it will be April of 2022, and then it will leave us 1 year for the election. And we're saying people must close shop. Our churches must begin to preach about our true freedom, not tithing. If you don't tithe, you will die. Somebody was saying, if you don't tithe, things will be tight for you. They will even have the audacity to tell you that if you give to the needy, you yourself will become, will be in need. Can you imagine?
Evil people. These are demons.
This desperate
They
that
are
if
very
you give
desperate
to the
because it's
needy,
business center.
my dear. I've told everyone that I gave money last year. I said, don't ever use my money to give to the church. You know what? I'm going to start making them swear that they will never use my money to give to any church. My money should go to the needy. I want to be in need. If that's what it takes to be in need, I'm ready to be in need. Every money, 10%, 20%, whatever you need to give should go to the needy down the street. Not for the man that is riding Rolls Royce, not for the man that is flying his jet, not the one that has a whole compound of houses from one end to another, not the one that pays for school fees, 4 years school fees in an instant for their sons, and we cannot afford to even pay for common school in our neighborhood. You see, we cannot continue to support these criminals.
No.
They have identified themselves. So you can't put this on God. You cannot blame God on this one because they don't want us to have process. Yes. The same process that will work in that place where they're sending their children. That you have to work. You cannot sit at home for 3 days in a week and expect to have an economy that will thrive. You cannot sit at home and expect to receive payment, salary. You cannot sit at home and expect to receive a pension. That we have to have in process. And that's what every one of them is afraid of. The one Nigeria is working for them now. So they will clinch on it real tight to make sure that we don't break it, because that is the process. That is their business entity. But if we understand the process, we will break these things down, and monkeys and baboons will go get a job just like anybody else.
Yep.
If you want to jump from one tree to another, run from the lion, cheetah, leopard, whatever you want to run from to make your money, you run from it.
Yep.
But you don't get to go and collect money on our behalf and use it to enrich yourselves.
Mm-mm. No more.
So the work has been done, people. Just key in. Key into the proposition. Stop the recklessness so that we can go home. Do not let them deceive you with their degrees. Do not let them deceive you with their good command of English. Do not then let them deceive you by how many radio stations and TV stations they can appear on, only to take you to the slaughterhouse. You see, the British citizens or the British government is already making a plan.
Yep.
Every little thing that happened, COVID, Africans cannot come. Nigeria
Exactly.
cannot come. This is how they are testing ground with what
They are testing ground with it.
Yes.
And it's coming. You know, once they make up their mind, this is what they want to do, they will eventually do it. It started. By the way, we can take calls right now, right? We can take calls for those that want to call and come in with this discussion before we finish.
Right. So
anything they make up their mind to do, they don't stop.
Mhm.
When they said it was time for slavery, they continued until they colonized our people. When our people said, "Oh, don't buy slaves," they came and enslaved us in our land. Now, the next thing they want to do is that they want to chase you out and force you back into the bad place that they left for you. That since you are telling them, no, don't, they want to force you back. They want to stop you from coming. So you that you are thinking of how to bring your mother, your aged mother, late father, to make them to become British citizens, when you know that elderly ones hate cold. Our mothers and fathers hate cold, but you will push them to come and become British citizens. And you're saying, my mother is a citizen, my father is a citizen. Why is your Igbo man not becoming citizen of your village? Please, our people, call so that we can discuss. If you have question, you can call to ask question. We want you to understand this proposition. There is no other way to get to that freedom. Other ways, they will lie to you. They are just using you to collect money and then become famous. And at the end, somebody I was listening to, because some people are in clubhouses, and we appreciate people that are setting up clubhouses for people to discuss self-determination. We cannot call your names, but we appreciate you because we can see what you're doing. So someone was saying that they are tired of having people coming to make noise and lead them and then push them into protest and everything. They will run out. And when they run out, they will give them asylum in some places and give them huge amount of money. Because self-determination, like freedom fighting has become work for some criminals. When they make enough noise, the politicians will come and meet them and give them 600 million, 500, huge amount of money. The money that should be used to build hospitals, that used to develop your land. The governors, because they don't want them to make noise in their state, we take that whole money and give to their leader. They're not giving to the people making noise and protesting, no. They will identify the leader, give it to him or her, and that one will fly out of the country, go and seek asylum, and begin a big life. My people, please stop enriching these criminals. Listen to NINA's proposition, the movement. Whether you like Tony Nnadi's face or you don't like his skin complexion, you are killing yourself. That is, you're tying yourself on the ground, and Fulanis will come in and deal with you.
All right. So today's show is produced by us as usual, and it's set up by my wonderful hubby. He does a wonderful work in the background. I don't even know how to pay him for all his job. And of course,
you know how to. I'll say that.
Oh, okay. I do know how to pay him. And this show is supported by family members, subscribers, and those wanting more for our people. And we want to always give a special thanks to LNC/NINAS, You can always visit their website, www.ninasvoice.org. That's a good place to start. Our brother's video is there for you to see. And if you feel like his English is too complicated for you, you can tone it down to our page. That's why we try to speak in a language that a lot of us will understand, for most of us. And then, we on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can see they are doing wonderful things to make sure that this message does not go across. And that's where you come in. We are asking you to do your own first share by sharing, so that our people in Niger will understand that we want them to have self-determination. People in whatever they might find themselves in TV, everybody is counted for, everybody is taken care of. And that's what a good governance is all about, which we don't have in our current situation. And of course, you can visit our website at www.daughtersoftrue.org. We have wealth of information on that website. You can see our vision and our mission, and please help us to support this process in any way that you can. We've always emphasized on people using their time, treasure, and their talent. Whatever role you can play, you have a role to play. So don't ever let your situation make you think like, oh, there's nothing I can do. God sent you here on a purpose. So you this a purpose for your life, not the purpose by Daddy Gio and all these fake criminal gang members. We're talking about there is something you can do. And you can see the change. Once you start doing using your God-given talent to help humanity, I promise you the rewards are endless. The rewards are endless, not the one that the Geo will promise you on Sunday and then he wants you to tithe again on Wednesday for you to get the blessings. We're talking about truly saying that I want to be a change agent. I want to be ambassador of change. I want to be part of this process. We have our volunteer forms. We have our members form. Sign up, contact us so that we can give you more information on how you can take this message to your village members, to your village meetings. We all have village meetings amongst ourselves that we go to once a month or so. Take this good news. Stop lying to yourself that you're in diaspora, that everything is well. Boris Johnson and his cohorts are doing wonders. You don't know when this thing will come up in your face, and you don't want to be left in the rain without coats. So please do your own part. So the website again is www.daughtersoftrue.org. And we want to commend our people. We want to start promoting our Made in Aba, Onitsha, Lagos. We want to start promoting Made in African brand. So if you know of anything that you want us to show at the end of the show, to tell our people to contact you, we definitely would love to do that. We want you guys to shine. We want you guys to succeed. We want you guys to be able to do what other people are doing, because we are no different. We did not come to this earth to suffer, only for us to suffer from the day we are giving birth to the day that we die. I don't think that's God's plan for us. So we can do better, my people. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. As usual, I know last week I actually announced the free giveaway for the question of the week. We weren't able to start yet because the phone card has not been purchased. So hopefully by next week we'll purchase the phone card. We don't want to send out the message send out the listing without everything being in place. So that's why we don't have the question of the week. But as soon as we're able to purchase those SIMS card, we will start. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, do not forget to share, and have a blessed and a wonderful weekend. And by the way, please help us to follow Brother Tony today. I don't know, I wasn't able to see where they were profiling that meeting, but as soon as we find it, we will definitely drop it on our Facebook page, so that you can see what our brothers and sisters in the Yoruba nation are doing. They are not playing. They don't want an election in their land. They don't care if your name is Tinubu or Basanjo or Basanjo or Bosanjo or Subanjo, Njo. They don't care.
Everywhere.
They want more for their people, and they are serious about it. They are not faking it. And we are looking for the same serious-minded people and the change agent in our own side of the woods. So thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.